The Learning Journey in association with Turn It Up Tuesday, hosted by Ross Audio, presents Did You Know? This week, I want to talk about unseen biases, a personal encounter with technology's exclusionary design. I've always had a profound love for photography, a sentiment shared by many of you. I know you love taking photographs. Many times you just sit and scroll through your phones. I'm sure you do that on a daily basis too. Over the years, I've taken thousands of photographs, but a conversation I had with a friend many years ago resonates with me at this point in time. While working on a video project, a friend who, like me, is black shared an insightful observation. He said to me, "Remember, these cameras weren't originally meant for people like us." This statement puzzled me at first. He explained that when photographing individuals with darker skin tone, it is crucial that you have adequate lighting on them. His explanation was not fully clear to me, but now I understand its profound significance. In the early days of photography, cameras weren't designed for us. That, of course, black people in mind. The photographic technology, particularly the cameras and films developed by companies like Kodak, were optimized for lighter skin tones. The bias was not just merely based on aesthetics. It was a deeper and systematic issue in the technology's development. Black individuals were often misrepresented in photographs, if they were captured at all. Remember, as I stated before, it never make free. This realization brings to light the broader implications of Kodak's early practices. While many of us enjoy taking selfies and capturing moments today, we must acknowledge the historical context in which these cameras were developed. The earlier film and camera designs by Kodak and others were not made for the intentions of accurately representing diverse skin tones. Understanding the history is crucial for appreciating the progress we've made and recognizing the work that still needs to be done to ensure that technology is inclusive and representative of all of us. Kodak, a pioneer in the field of photography and film, faced criticism for its early practices related to film development and inadvertently reflected bias as it relates to race. Shirley cards and skin tone bias. For years, Kodak used reference cards known as Shirley cards during the photograph printing process. These cards typically featured a Caucasian woman, and the color balance in the photo development labs were often calibrated to match the skin tone of the model on the card. This practice led to systematic bias in the film processing, which of course led to darker skin tone not accurately being captured or reproduced. This bias in the calibration of photograph development affected not just the processing of images, but influenced the design and technology of cameras and films. Cameras were often optimized for lighter skin tones, affecting exposure and lighting settings. Films too were designed to capture and reproduce colors that favored lighter skin, often at the expense of accuracy, re-rendering darker skin tones. The issue of racial bias in film technology gained recognition in the latter part of the 20th century, partly due to the critiques of artists, photographers, and of course activists. The awareness led to changes in the industry. Kodak and other companies began to diversify their referencing images and, of course, reevaluated their film development processes to make sure it was more inclusive of various skin tones. But after all, what is said and done, when you build something, it's hard to really change the landscape. But there are broader implications. The issues highlighted here are regarding racial biases embedded in technology and in product design. It serves as an early example of how technology can be perceived as neutral, notwithstanding it will of course exclude individuals. I must say that there are several things that we have to consider. These critiques have contributed to more inclusive approaches as it relates to photography and technology, although change sometimes is difficult based on how it has been set up. Just remember, we have our voices, and our voices must be heard. Over to you, Rossi.